And I understood what he was referring to. And so he said, give little baby milk. He said, when I'm gone, he said, then you can say whatever you want to about me. And that was about it. And he named all of my family Muhammad.
Where did Farad Muhammad come from? And
He says to me that he had been studying for us what he meant to teach us and to reform us for 42 years, he says to me. And that his father, he says, I should let the world know these things, what he said to me. And as I never have went too much into his birth and into his sayings of what took place, so I am going to tell this. I intend to give a full description of it on the 26th of next month in Chicago. Give it in details. But at this time, I can say this, that he told me that his father wanted a son that would go and search for the lost people of our kind. He said they had it in the Quran, they had it in the Bible, scriptures, that there would be a lost member at the time of the resurrection, and that they had to find that one because it did not give the location. He says his father wanted to make a son that was would be able, pardon my language, to go and search all the civilizations of the earth to locate this people. And when he finds them, he would be able to teach them and make a disciple of his own of them, to teach them, and try and get them together and return them again to their own people. And so he said he was that man, and his father, first child, was a girl. And so he smiled and he says he had to make another try for me. And he said that his father was darker than any of us that he was talking to at the time. He said, he's a real dark man. He was still alive. And he said, this is the way that this took place. He says, and now, he says, I'm here, and I want you to know, he says, I love you, and my father made me for you, and that we want you to know yourself and put you on to your own kind. And that is what that he taught, and that of us, about our being away from our people, and that we was unqualified now to mix with them because they were Islam people and we were not, and that we didn't even know who we were. And so that was true, and that was easy to get over to us. And I taken all of this and I taught my people and been teaching them the same. But I never did go into his birth and how his father trained him and what all he said about that. Because I feared my people would not believe, since that they believe mostly spiritual. God is a spirit or something like that, and is not flesh and blood. He's not visible. And This I'm very slow about getting over to my people, but now they will just have to take it or leave it. These are facts, and this is according to the Bible, that the Son of Man would come, and not a son of a spirit. And this I want to make clear to them and those who believe in the Spirit being God and not man. Main base of it all now is to show forth who is God, and he's not what they has thought he was, that he's in man and man is God. And so that is the way that goes. And in Chicago on the 26th of next month, I will go into detail of his birth and his childhood and his manhood, and show forth scripture that is relating to this coming of God in man. And the Son there, as the scholars know, it only means the way he has given it to me, that he was born from his father, and to go after the lost found sheep, the Bible call it, and that Jesus made it in beautiful parables, that he will search for the lost sheep and all like that. So it all now has been fulfilled, and this is it now that we are living in. And that my work from him is to teach my people these facts and to reform them and make them what they should be, as they are children, as the Bible teaches, from God, but they are lost in evil and practice evil, and that they must now forego evil and accept righteousness, because they are creatures of righteousness.
What happened to Faraj Muhammad? Why did he disappear?
Well, that happened like this. After he had given to me what he wanted to give to me as the teachings and the work of preparedness of our people, then it was not necessary for him to remain here among us. So he taken his leave, as it is said in Quran that the people is not worthy that God remain among them, but he makes a messenger of that people, that through that messenger he will reach the people through him. And the Bible is verified the same. And so he left, and that he gave me hint about his return, but now there is just as much prophesied that he will return or he will not return, as there is of his returning. Because the Bible says he will send his angels and they will take care of the gathering of his people. I don't expect him to return in person, not like that, because there is too much for us to look forward to that he will not. It is not really necessary if he's going to send his own people, as they refer to angels, to gather the believers of my people. It's not necessary.
Where did he go and where is he now?
Well, that is something that we actually cannot say. If one would open up such truth as the truth of God to the people, I do think that he's within his rights to stay out of the sight of the people.